Hello and welcome to this month's free spa retreat. I hope that you're comfy and settled and having a lovely moment to yourself. Hopefully you have stopped everything else happening around you for a little while so that you can just enjoy this time together. So what are we going to do? We're going to do a range of things. We're going to do some practical things that are going to reduce the stress chemicals in your body and hopefully raise some sense of relaxation and also a little bit of resilience for whatever's going to happen next. So there's going to be, if you're watching this live, there's going to be a government announcement in about half an hour. I think pretty much everything's been leaked in the press already, so let's not even worry about that. Let's just, even tomorrow, it's another day. It's not for us to hassle about right now. What is important is that you get some recharge and some relaxation, and I'm going to explain to you how and why that is so important, especially today. But before we do that, let me introduce myself if you haven't met me before. So my name is Pam Burrows and I'm known as the People Booster. So what I do when I'm not doing free spas is that I work with organisations who want to reduce stress in the workplace. And so I help them in three different ways. I help the organisation to have a structure and a strategy for stress reduction. And I help managers to support their staff and put in practice that strategy. And I help individuals, staff leaders and managers to have a toolkit so that they can reduce their own stress and manage what's going on for them. So that's what I'd normally do. But over the first lockdown, I started to run these free spas for people who were just helping everybody else and completely frazzled. And so that carried on, and now it's every last Monday of the month, and I'm really pleased that you're joining me today. Now, what you might want to know is that you can. We got too big for our boots. We started getting over 100 people who wanted to be on the spa, which meant that we burst out of the Zoom room. So I am currently in a Zoom room, but then this is feeding live into YouTube live stream, because that means there's no limit to how many people we can have. Now that means I can't see you and we can't just kind of chit chat, but you can talk to me in the comments. So please, please, please do feel free to say anything, well, not anything you like, you know, just nice things in the comments box. And then Annie's over the other side of the room on her computer. She's on YouTube and she's going to be able to flash up little messages to me of whatever you're putting in the chat box. So I think there's been one of those already, but I couldn't see it because I've got my glasses on. Subtitles are showing on YouTube. Oh my goodness. That is fantastic. So we had a bit of an issue trying to get the subtitles on YouTube, and I thought that the particular participant who was asking about them would need to be in Zoom, but no, they are on YouTube. How fantastic. So I'm going to have to say things properly so that the transcription is accurate. Anyway, I know that I've got some returners in this group, so please say hi in the chat box if you've been before, if you already know me. I know that we've got some people from my Feel Good Club, which is we have a live group every Wednesday evening. Sometimes once a month it's a recording, but yeah, every Wednesday we have a Wellbeing Wednesday where we do feel good techniques and change the way that we feel for the better. If you want to know more about that, I'll tell you at the end. And yes, so hello to my Feel Good Clubbers, and just lovely to have you here. Okay, right, let's get on with it. So you and I have something in common, and that is that we know how to work really hard. We also know how to not stop even when it gets tough. And we know how to just keep going anyway. Now, you might have noticed there's those three things have got something in common, and there's something missing. So that's all about carrying on. And what's missing is the taking a break, the looking after yourself, the recharging your batteries, the refueling your tank. That's what this is about, because I have got a history of working too hard, going pop, burning out, just keeling over. I over time just thought there's got to be a different way, and that's what I'm hopefully going to help you with tonight. So the things that we're going to do are quite simple, but they are quite powerful. We're going to be doing some practical physical moves. So if you've got aches and pains, difficulties in movement, anything like that, then just go easy on yourself. There's no perfect way to do this. It's just about helping you to be a little bit more flexible, to release some of that stress and to recharge your batteries. So you may, I hope, have got the information about this, including a foot spa. I'm looking down because my feet are in the water right now, and I've just got my feet in a plastic storage drawer out of the storage unit, and I filled it with warm water and bubble bath. Now, if you haven't got your water ready yet, that's fine, because we're going to have a little 5-minute or so break to give you a chance to either get your bucket sorted and get your feet in the water, or to warm up the water if you're already in. So either way is fine, but I've got mine straight in, and it's feeling nice already. Okay, let me just check if there was anything else that I was going to tell you before we get properly into it. Yeah, so basically I have cherry picked my favorite stress reduction activities, the ones that really, really work for me. And at the start of lockdown, you know, like a year ago, I didn't put into practice the things that I teach other people. When I started doing that again, I started to realize what were the things that really had impact. Out of all the things I teach, all the things I go into organizations and help them with, what were the things that really, really worked? And that's what you're going to get tonight. Okay, so if you are able to reach your keyboard and you are willing to just share a little something with me, I'd like you to just start to notice, out of 10, where are your stress levels lately? Now, you might have just had half term, which may have been more stress or less stress. You may have just had first day back at work. You may not have had half term. What is it that's been going on for you lately, and where are your stress levels? So give me a score out of 10, as in 10 is steam coming out of my ears, I'm already at bursting point, 0 being totally chilled out. So give me a number out of 10 and a word or two that kind of describes how you feel right now. So it might be frazzled, might be quite chilled, might be getting better balance, could be whatever. So I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Now, if you either haven't got full access to your keyboard, or you're already leaning back, feeling relaxed and pampered, and you really can't be bothered, that's absolutely fine. But I would like you to think just for a few moments about where are your stress levels at the moment during this day, this week. What has it been like? Because then we'll revisit that towards the end and we'll see if we've made a shift. Okay, let's get started. We are going to have a look tonight at 7 wooden spoons. You might say to yourself, 7 wooden spoons? What's that all about? I'm going to tell you in a bit. But before I tell you about that, we're going to do one very key, very simple starter for 10. We're going to get straight in there with the physical things. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a very practical technique for releasing tension. I call it just let go, and it does just that. When we get tense, even if we're not particularly stressed or we don't feel particularly stressed, but we're really concentrating hard, we tend to bring tension into the shoulders and the neck. We often furrow the brow, you know, we've kind of got a frown going on here. We clench the teeth together, lock the jaw, and we stick the tongue to the roof of the mouth. The other thing that we tend to do is we start to breathe short and shallow. Now, when you breathe short and shallow, you straight away start to tell the body and the brain that there's something to be on alert for. It's not a fully relaxed situation. So what we want to do is we want to hit all of those things at once, because it tells the body and the brain it's okay to relax. And what we can do then is use this technique often through the day to just bring that stress back from the edge, as it were. Okay, so all we're going to do is, do this with me, raise your shoulders as you take a lovely breath in, and raise your eyebrows too, And then as you breathe out, relax your eyebrows, roll the shoulders back and down, relax the jaw and let the tongue rest in the bottom palate as you do a nice long breath out. We're going to do that a few more times. And you can do it at your pace. You don't have to do it in time with me. But as you're doing that, see if you're raising the shoulders and the eyebrows and then relaxing the eyebrows, the jaw, the tongue, the shoulders and the breath. And making sure that out breath is nice and long and deep, because it's the out breath that really tells the body and brain that it's okay to switch off and relax. Let's do it a few more times. One more. Really squeeze those shoulders as they go back, and then just sit for a bit or lie wherever you are and just notice how you feel. Now, if you feel a little bit dizzy, it's likely that you were breathing very short and shallow before we started this, and the deep breathing has brought you so much oxygen you're not quite sure what to do with it. So that's a little sign that maybe you need to do some more deep breathing, get into habit of doing that every now and again. You might notice that there's kind of crunching and clicking in your shoulders and you think, oh gosh, that really hurts. Then that suggests that you need to do this more often. And since I started doing this as a free spa, quite a surprise, in addition to my usual work on stress reduction, some organisations actually started to ask me to present a spa to their staff, especially if they were working from home. So it's meant that I'm doing my monthly spa and then often other spas as well, paid for spas. And then sometimes people buy them for friends and family. So I've been doing quite a lot. And the difference it's made, because I've been doing this regularly, because I'm doing it with you, I do it more often. And I'm really noticing the difference. Now when I do this, there's hardly any crunching and clicking, there's hardly any aches and pains. So if you're not doing this on a regular basis and you can feel those aches and pains, one of the things you might want to do, a little hot tip, literally hot tip, is to get a hot water bottle, not hot but warm, and have that across your shoulders before you begin to do the massage and all the things that we're going to do tonight. When you do that, it softens those muscles and it just brings a little bit more relaxation into that before you begin. And in fact, you don't have to do the massage. You could just have something warm, you know, those microwavable heaty bags perhaps across your shoulders just while you're watching television. It just eases out that tension. So I call it Just Let Go because we are relaxing the jaw. We are relaxing the, should be forehead, but it doesn't make a word, upper face, J-U, the shoulders, S, and the tongue, T, and then the let go is let go of the breath. Just let go. Jaw, upper face, shoulders, tongue, let go of the breath. And what I'd really, really recommend is, instead of thinking to yourself, oh, I'll probably never get around to doing that, is do something called habit stacking. What is it you're going to do every day anyway? And then stack this habit onto it. So boiling the kettle, waiting in a queue, being on hold on the telephone, waiting for the computer to stop scrolling and you can carry on with what you want to do. All of those can be a moment where you go, right, I'm just going to let go of whatever I'm hanging on to. And if something's been bothering you, especially if people have been bothering you, then when you do this, imagine you're shrugging off anything somebody might have been passing on to you. I call it OPN, other people's nonsense. Okay, so that's that bit. Now, let me introduce you to my care model. It's a whistle-stop tour through what I spend quite a few months delivering in organisations, but I know how clever you are. You can grasp this in not very long at all. So let me introduce you to the C of the care model, which stands for compassion. You might have heard a lot about compassion lately. You may have seen people on the television and heard about them on the radio being very compassionate, being amazing health service, social care, carers, all kinds of people doing amazingly compassionate things. That's not what I'm talking about. The C of the care model is all about you not burning out. So this is about compassion for you and what you need. There's three parts to it. Listening to yourself with compassion, and acting upon what you hear. So, you know, if what you hear is I'm tired, then you take a rest. And then the other thing is that you speak to yourself with compassion. Speaking kindly, being kind in your mind. How often do you, not even realising it, pick up one of these? Oh, I forgot the attachment to the email. Oh, I didn't get that job done. Oh, I got that job done, but it meant that fell off, or that didn't get finished, or this isn't perfect, or why can't I do this, and why is it? I saw a funny thing yesterday, it did make me laugh. It was on Facebook. It's a little cartoon of somebody who was cooking, and they'd taken something out of a cardboard packet to cook, and then they'd put the cardboard packet in the recycling, and then completely forgotten the instructions for cooking. So they had to get it out, read the instructions again, throw it in the recycling, start to cook, forget it again, 3 times over, and then in the end, like, what's wrong with me? And my friend who'd posted it was like, is this just me? There were so many of us saying, that's me, that's me. I have to keep getting it out. What did it say? What Fahrenheit? What's the, how many minutes? Just having to bring it out every time. But do you know what? You don't have to beat yourself up for that kind of thing. You can say, wow, that's not a surprise. I'm trying to do so many things at once, or I've had such a busy day, or I'm really tired. And just listen to yourself with kindness and speak to yourself with kindness. Instead of beating yourself up, instead of criticism, try compassion. Because a very important reason for doing that is that stops you from raising those stress chemicals, adrenaline and cortisol, that are going to affect your well-being. I'm going to talk about that a bit more in a little while. But I need to remember this is a whistle-stop tour, not a full talk on the care model. So I'll get along with that. Okay, the A of the care model stands for acknowledge, and this is about getting to the end of the day, and instead of going, oh, all the things I didn't get done, you notice what you have got done, and you also notice what you're good at, the things that you're proud of, the things that you are pleased about, the things that are part of who you are. So when you get to the end of the day, hang on a sec, I just need to swap that over. Welcome, Therese. When we get to the end of the day, it's about noticing what works. What is it that you have done? What is it that people compliment you on? Maybe there are things that you do that are really quite amazing, but when people compliment on you, go, wow, it's nothing. Oh, it was easy. Now, the reason it feels like it was nothing, the reason why it was easy, is because that's what you do. That's what you're good at. It's easy for you because you're good at it. So acknowledging is about accepting those compliments, realizing what you're good at. And if you do it at the end of the day, as part of your gratitude journal, or you could start a new acknowledgement journal, and you just jot those things down at the end of the day, just before you go to sleep, there are 2 really important things that happen. One is you reduce the stress chemicals that are likely to keep you awake or wake you up in the night or stop you getting a really good deep sleep. And you will raise the serotonin levels in your body, which is the feel-good chemical of having succeeded at something. So you want more of that. So more acknowledgement. Now, the R of the care model is for reality. So when you set yourself your tasks to do during the day, how realistic is it? Do you set yourself so many things to do in the day that it's never humanly possible? You're just not going to be able to do all of those things. And then, of course, you compound it by getting to the end of the day and going, why didn't I manage to finish everything? This is also including not just your list, but that you didn't leave any sanity spaces to fit in all of the emergency things that you weren't even expecting, the things that other people asked you to do. So the R of the care model is about how you manage your time and your energy, what you say yes to, what you need to say no to, and separating out intention and reality. How often do you say yes too many times because your intention is to work hard and be a good person and to be helpful? You're a fixer, you're a doer. I don't think you would be here joining me on this if you weren't a doer and a fixer, because it's the doers and the fixers that get burnt out. It's the people who just keep going even when their tank is empty. But you can't keep on doing that, because the reality is you haven't got capacity to say yes every time. You might have the urge, you might have the intention, but you can't have the reality every time. To have the energy, the resources, the finances, the time, the patience to be able to say yes to everything that comes your way. So be careful what you say yes to, because you might be saying no to your own well-being in the same breath. And also, you're saying that you're a superhero. I know you're a superhero, but wear your superhero pants on the inside so that not everybody knows, because they'll just keep asking you. Right, now this is ironic because this is the E of the care model, and it's E for energy, but the battery is a bit wonky. That makes me laugh. Okay, so the E is for energy. Now, what do I mean by energy? I mean eat, drink, sleep, the 3 very basic things for energy, but also an additional one, which is find joy. We're having to do that more on purpose at the moment. How are you finding joy? I love going camping with my friends in the countryside, and we build a big bonfire. We sit around it all night. We chat and we build the fire and we dance and we sing and all of those things. It's wonderful. Of course, not being able to do that, but I can build a bonfire in the garden. On a rainy day, I can't build a bonfire in the garden, so I burn a piece of wood in the house and I enjoy the wood smoke because it's evocative of all those memories of good times. So how can you find joy? Even if you can't do exactly what you want, even if you've got to pare it back, even if it's an online disco or online singing. Find me on a Wednesday morning. You can find me Sing Up to Cheer Up on Facebook. We have a little singing group. You don't have to be able to sing in tune. We do it all on mute and the lyrics are on the screen, and we have a fab time. It's just finding ways to find joy right now. And actually, if you've got a busy household, finding joy might be locking yourself in a room for a bit and just having some time to yourself. So what is it that you need right now? Is it about having more contact or less contact, or just finding the things that make you happy? So those other 3 key things, eat, drink, sleep, how simple are they? Of course, they're obvious. Of course they are. But how often do we not eat when we're hungry? Or we eat things that aren't nutritious? Or we eat when we're not hungry, just like stuffing ourselves, or we don't stay hydrated, you know, and hydration is so important. It keeps all your internal organs going. It helps the heart, helps the liver, helps the kidneys, and it keeps the blood flowing. You know, the blood flows better when you've got enough water in the body. And those 3 key things, eat, drink and sleep, are so key, and they are the things that tend to go a little bit awry when we've got those stress chemicals in our body. So what we really want to do is we want to reduce the stress chemicals in our body, and I'm just going to flash up just for a moment a really good book if you're interested in some of the things that I'm just about to say. This is a book that you might want to get. If you want to do a screenshot, then feel free. But if you just remember the title, When the Body Says No, which I think will probably be memorable after what I've said in a minute. It's by a guy called Gabor Mate, who's a medical doctor, but he's gone beyond medical training into what he talks about in this book. It's full of research that shows what happens when you keep saying yes when you really want to say no. When you keep pushing when your tank is empty, at some point the body will say no. If you won't say no, your body will. And the book is absolutely jam-packed full of medical evidence of where we keep saying yes and we keep putting up with things and we swallow our anger and we ignore our feelings, and some of it may be from way back when you were mistreated and you weren't able to speak up. All of that stuff can become stagnant in the body and cause us problems. Now, the very, very basic thing, I'm not going to go into the chemicals of the stress reaction. I've done that in previous spa events, so you can have a look at previous recordings to get more information on that. But basically, when you get stressed, even if you don't realize you're getting stressed, the adrenaline and the cortisol, the stress hormones, start to pump through the body. They're really useful if you're in a dire situation where you need to run or to fight for your life. and not so useful if what you've just read is an email from your manager. So that's not such a useful time to get into fight or flight. The cortisol affects our immune system. It basically switches off what's not essential in that moment, like the reproductive system, the digestive system, and our immune system. So when the cortisol is present, those things don't work so well because they're not essential if it's the moment of life and death survival. But like I say, maybe what's stressing us is an email or a government announcement or the illness of a friend or whatever. So in that moment, when the cortisol starts to switch off the immune system, the digestive system and the reproductive system, we start to have difficulties, which is why irritable bowel syndrome is so linked with stress. As soon as we start messing with our adrenaline and cortisol, we start messing with our digestive system. If you've got anything like Crohn's disease or any kind of food intolerances, you will probably notice how they are exacerbated when you're under stress. It's because that cortisol is messing with your immune system and your digestive system. Now, the other thing that goes on is that when we have the stress hormones in the body, it causes inflammation. So if you've got anything like rheumatism, arthritis, fibromyalgia, any of those kinds of things, if you've got any chronic illness, and when I was little, when people said something was chronic, it meant it was extreme. So like, oh, I've got a chronic headache, meaning it was really bad. And over time I realized that chronic doesn't mean that. Actually, the right word for a chronic headache would be an acute headache. It's in the moment, it's acute in that moment. What chronic actually means is that it comes and goes, but it's pretty much constantly there. So if you've got any kind of chronic illness, I'm sure you don't need me to explain what that means, but that will be affected by the cortisol in your body. The inflammation will be affected by that. Now, let me introduce you to the 7 spoons that I mentioned earlier. Here are my 7 spoons. So these 7 spoons represent your energy. And this is something which actually came out of the issue of chronic illness by a woman, let me get her name right. Her name's Christine Miserandino. In 2003, she wrote an essay which she based on this idea. So she was in a restaurant with a friend who has lupus. And lupus is, again, a chronic illness where energy has to really be managed very well. And her friend was really struggling. So they were in a restaurant and Christine reached out for whatever there was a lot of nearby. So she reached into a box of spoons in the restaurant and she pulled them out. And she said to her friend, these represent the energy you have in any one day. And every time you do something, it uses up a spoon. So let's say that you're already frazzled, you're already close to burnout, and or you've got a chronic illness. So, you know, everything is an effort. Even just having a shower and getting dressed in the morning might use up a spoon. And then maybe you've got to, it fell in the water, it'll be a clean spoon. And then you've got to either travel to work or you start setting up your computer and doing whatever else you need to do in the day. Maybe you're homeschooling. 1, 2, 3, 4 spoons. Maybe you've got to cook, maybe you've got to clean, maybe you've got to deal with any kind of emergencies. But you can see what happens. Soon enough, there are no spoons left. If you're a fixer, if you're a doer, I bet sometimes you get to the point where you've got 1 spoon left and 3 things to do. And still, you don't stop doing. You use up that spoon and then you get into tomorrow's spoons. You're in spoon debt for the following day. So I wanted to just give you a quick overview of this spoon theory to just get you thinking about how you're managing your energy right now. And whilst I know that you are a superhero, I'm just going to fish this spoon out of the water. I know that you're a superhero. It's got all the fluff on it now. Bubbles. I know you're a superhero. If you don't manage that energy, your superpowers become a super problem. So have a think when you're going through the day and you're planning what you're going to do. Are you counting more spoons than you've actually got? And how can you notice when you're getting low on spoons and you need to be careful, thinking, right, am I going to use this spoon for that, or is this more important right now? So for instance, if you've only got one spoon left and you need to eat and you need to cook and you can only use one spoon, then find something to eat that doesn't need cooking, as an example. Right, okay, let me move along. Let's have a look at the time. Oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock already. How did that happen? Okay, so what we're going to do now then is we're going to take 5 minutes or so, and I'd like you to use that time to pop to the loo if you need to. If you haven't yet got your feet in the water, then get your bucket sorted. You can use anything, washing up bowl, somebody used a cat litter tray, somebody else used a cast iron cooking dish, just anything that suits if you can get your feet in it. And if you've already got your feet in the water but you want to warm up, or you want to get a snack, a drink, whatever, we're just going to take 5 minutes or so. So if you're watching on catch up, you might want to fast forward. We're just going to take a few minutes, and then once your feet are in the water, I'm going to show you my magic 3 things for resetting your nervous system. Okay, if you've got questions or anything you want to say at this point, do pop them in the chat box, and Annie will pass me your messages on. Okay, folks, get your feet in the water or get your water warmed up. I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Okay, so about 7:05. Okay, welcome back, and we will now hopefully be all in the buckets. So hopefully you've got warm water and something lovely like bubble bath, and I'm just going to show you before I carry on what I like to have in mine. So Epsom salts, absolutely magical. You don't have to buy the expensive ones. You can get them in a 10-litre bucket off the internet and save money and spend it on a really good quality essential oil, and then drop that into your Epsom salts. I use lavender for relaxation, but sometimes people feel like lavender reminds them of old ladies' drawers, if you know what I mean, of one kind or another. So if you prefer, you could try rose or geranium. They're also good for relaxation. And you can sprinkle it in your bath, you can put it in your foot spa, and it just draws the tension out of the body. They've been used for years and years for sports people, for achy muscles. And it's really, really good for softening the muscles, which is what we want to do, because once the muscles are soft, the body brain gets the idea that all is well and it's okay to switch off those stress chemicals. So that's what we really want to do. And what else was I going to tell you about that? I think that was it for now. I've also got some redox stressy business in for the bubbles, so that's nice too. Okay, right, so we're going to leave our feet in the water. And we're going to do some stuff around the top half of the body to start with. So I'm just going to take off my not real diamonds. I joked one time that they were real diamonds and somebody believed me. So I thought, I need you to know I haven't got real diamonds. Right, so we are going to do the magic 3. So these are 3 physical things that help you to reduce the tension in the body. Why do we want to do that? Because that switches off those stress chemicals, the stress chemicals that raise inflammation, get in the way of your immune system, start setting off all kinds of chronic illness and other illnesses. Now, at any point in time, every single one of us has cells in the body which could become cancerous. Cells which are automatically detoxed from the body just in the natural way of things, usually when we are fully relaxed. So when you switch off fully, the body gets to do its maintenance. It gets to get rid of all the things it doesn't need and rebuild the things that it does. That's when the body is fully relaxed, we start producing protein, which is basically for building things. So if you don't ever properly switch off, the body can't do its maintenance. That's when it gets ill. That's when we start to make illnesses happen or exacerbated in the body. The other thing that can happen if you, for instance, if you're very angry or upset or whatever extreme negative emotion, and you're not releasing that, you're not expressing that, you're not saying, hang on, that's not okay, I need to tell you how I feel. If you're not expressing that in some way, that holding in that negative emotion builds tension in the body. Guess what that does? That triggers your stress hormones, which will then stop the body from doing its maintenance. So the book that I mentioned earlier, When the Body Says No, well, the research shows from all over the world, lots of different experts showing that when we suppress negative emotions, it causes physical illness. It's not just an emotional issue. So I'm going to show you how you can get rid of anything that's been bothering you without having to even talk about it. So that sounds all right. So the first thing we're going to do is an adrenal twist. Now, the non-scientific version of this is imagine yourself like a flannel full of adrenaline, and we're wringing it out, getting rid of the adrenaline that we don't need in this moment, because we're supposed to be chilling out. So we're going to put our hands on the shoulders with thumbs at the back, fingers at the front. We're going to twist to the left and breathe in. You're taking the head with you, and twist to the right and breathe out. You'll do this with your eyes closed so that you don't get dizzy, and also to take the focus inside, because we're all about what everybody needs and what needs to be done and focused on the outside. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if you've got aches and pains around here, please the C of the care model. Be compassionate towards yourself. If it's achy, it's too sore to hold your arms up like this, then you can do it this way. Just put an arm on the opposite, hand on the opposite arm, and twist left and right this way. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'll show you the kind of pace that it's taught at, but you could go slower or faster, whatever suits you. Okay, you're breathing into the left and breathing out to the right. Begin when you like, and once you've got the hang of it, close your eyes. Take the head with the shoulders. You're keeping your head and shoulders in the same place, and you're twisting from the waist. Breathing into the left, breathing out to the right. And if you'd like to add another layer to this, as you breathe into the left, you can imagine that you're breathing in a healing white light. It's filling your mind, filling your body, moving out anything you don't need. And then as you twist to the right and breathe out, imagine you're breathing out all of the stuff you don't need. It's just getting pushed out by the white light. There's no room. Maybe it's other people's criticism, your own expectations, whatever it is, it's leaving. Breathing into the left, breathing out to the right, breathing in white light, breathing out what you don't need. You don't even need to know what it is you're letting go of. You're just letting go. Just let your subconscious mind know that there's stuff you don't need. Other people's nonsense. You can just let go of it because it's NMS, not my stuff. Breathe into the left, breathe out to the right. We're going to do this for a little while longer. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just bring yourself to stillness in the middle. Let your hands rest in your lap. And just allow yourself, still with your eyes gently closed if that's comfortable for you, just noticing how you feel. Just observing with kindness and compassion, listening to yourself. And you might feel that you want to just ease the head and neck a little bit. You might want to roll your shoulders a little bit. Just notice what it feels that you need. Okay, and then if you've got your eyes closed, just open them up so I can show you the second of our 3 moves that we're doing, our magic 3. And this one, if you've done yoga or seen yoga, you'll know about cat-cow, which is done on all fours. I'm not going to get you on all fours. So it's a little bit like cat-cow, and cat-cow is basically done on all fours, where you arch your spine like a cat and then you dip your spine like a cow. So we're going to do something similar to that, but we're going to do it sitting up, which means that it's called Camel Ride, and I'll show you why, because when you do it, you look like you're juggling about on a camel. So what we do here is you push your chest forward as you breathe in, fill your lungs, and then curl your back like a turtle as you breathe out. And then you've just got your hands in your lap as you're doing that. So this spinal flex is bringing lubrication into each and every part of the vertebrae. Now, if you've got aches and pains, be careful. Just do what feels okay for you. This is not a competition. Just do what feels right. So breathing in as you push forward. See if you can make your back into a C shape, and then bend it the other way and you're making a C in the opposite direction. Breathing in and breathing out. Once you've got the hang of it, close your eyes, take your focus inside. And again, go at the pace that feels right for you. If you want to do it slowly and mindfully, that's perfect for you. If you want to go a bit quicker, just be careful you don't end up nodding the head, can make you a bit dizzy. The head is pretty much staying in the same axis. As you push forward, really push your chest and your sternum and bring the shoulders back, and then breathe out and curve it all around. Of course, what's happening for a lot of people at the moment is we're sitting still a lot more than we normally would. And if you're at the computer, you end up with hunched shoulders. There's a saying in yoga that is, you're as old as your spine is. And what we're doing here is we're bringing youth to the spine. As soon as you start moving joints, then we increase the chance of lubrication of it. And so that's bringing health. My chair is squeaking like a good one tonight. There's too much Camel Ride, I think. Okay, we'll carry on with this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, eyes closed, hands in your lap. Just come to stillness and just notice. Notice how that feels. I can feel a kind of fizzing at the base of my spine. It feels kind of nice. It feels like there's some blood circulation going on. Excellent. Now, the adrenal glands are just at the back here, at the bottom of the back. And they're just near the kidneys. So let's just give them a warm up. Just rubbing the hands at the base of the spine. And you don't need to know accurately where that is. Just rub the base of your spine, both sides, and just see if it feels good. Okay, now I've saved the best for last. Those of you who already work with me, the Feel Good Clubbers, and anybody who's done a workshop with me recently or done a spa before, you'll know this one. It's one of my favourites. It's kept me sane during lockdown, and I've saved it as the third of the 3 because it's a little bit odd. There is a story that in parts of Africa this is used as medicine. So you would go to the doctor and they would tell you how particularly to do this for particular ailments, and it resets the nervous system. It's really, really quite magical. Now, it's best if you do it standing up with the whole body, but we're just going to do a sitting down version. And all we're going to do is we're going to start by just putting your arms up a little bit. And we're going to move the arms so that the hands flap. So you're not moving the hand with the wrist muscles. You're flapping the arms up and down so that the wrists are just very slack and the hands are ended up. Kind of imagine that you're a toddler who's just learnt to wave, that kind of thing. It's a little bit clumsy, but it's a very magical thing that's happening in the nerve endings of the wrists when you do this. Okay, you can tell why I've saved it for last, because it's a little bit daft. Now move the shoulders too. The shoulders are going up and down, making my computer wobble. Up and down. And now if it's comfortable for you, you can stay like this if it's better for you. But if it's comfortable, start to shake the hands above the head. This time we're using the hands as if we're flicking water off. Throw the water off. Hands above the head. Now, this is really great for raising your energy. When you shake the hands above the head, it's great for like an afternoon slump, or if you get up in the morning and you feel a bit groggy, just to wake up your energy. So we're going to do it for a little while longer. Let's see how long you can do it for. And you're stronger than you think you are. So don't give in to those thoughts of, oh, I'm not very fit. You know, I've got my bingo wings out here, folks. Look, I'm making myself vulnerable. You can do it. You can do it. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Now, what you can do when you do the whole body is you put Taylor Swift, Shake It Off on YouTube, and you shake the whole body. You jump up and down, you shake your legs, you wiggle your bum, you shake everything. Honestly, it's such a great reset. Right, we're going to do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest the hands in the lap. And just notice how you feel. Observing. It's definitely lifted my energy, and at the very least it might have made you smile or laugh, which is always good. That sets off feel good chemicals, even if you're not sure what you're laughing at. So just allowing the breath to return. Shaking is really magical. If you've just had some bad news, if you're sad, bad, mad, you know, you're feeling a bit crazy, you're not sure what to do with yourself, you're upset about something, or you just don't know what's up. You know, I think ever since the pandemic first hit, there's been days when we've all had that experience of, actually, I don't really know what's up with me today. I'm just not quite right. And a good old shake is a good way to do that. Put on your favourite song, shake it off. It's just, honestly, I think it's what's kept me sane during lockdown, when I remembered about it and started doing it for myself. Okay, right, that's that bit. So now we're going to do a little shoulder massage. So when you, we're going to use this kind of movement and place it on the opposite shoulder. Now just here is the trapezius, that kind of thick muscle that you can feel there between the neck and the shoulder. And we're going to give it a big squeeze as you breathe in. Hold it for a moment or two and then let it go. Let the muscle go, let the breath go. And then we're going to carry on doing that, squeezing the muscle. And this is what really has made a difference for me doing these spas on a regular basis. Just those kinds of muscles that just get tighter and tighter and tighter until you pull a muscle and you think, God, I lifted something, it wasn't very heavy. I don't know why I've pulled a muscle. It's because they got tighter and tighter. Now you can go from the neck down to the shoulder, or if you want to, you can just pop your, push your elbow slightly and just find that shoulder blade at the back here and have a little dig around with the finger ends in that shoulder blade. And you might find it's a little bit crunchy. You might find it's a little bit sore. Now don't hurt yourself, you're being firm, but we're being compassionate, remember? And then let's come back to that big muscle. Let's take some deep breaths. Remember, it's the deep breaths, especially the out breath, that tell the body brain it's okay to relax. Okay, so now take a big squeeze and a big breath in. And breathe out, and then dust it off. This affects the fascia just below the surface of the skin and all the nerve endings, but I like to think of it as just dusting off any stuff you don't need, other people's nonsense. It's not your stuff. Roll your shoulders a couple of times just to reset, and then we'll go over to the other side, and it's the same thing again. So give that big muscle a big squeeze and a big breath in. Hold it for a moment or two and breathe out and let go, and then keep repeating. Just have a little look around with your hand. This is not intended to make you qualified in massage. What it is just you getting to know your body and giving yourself a little bit of care that switches off the kind of stress hormones that can cause inflammation, pain, illness and irritation, cause you to eat sharing bags of food that don't get shared. You know, the ones sharing crisps and sharing chocolate. What? No, don't share them. Eat them all yourself. Okay, have a little dig around the back there if it feels right for you. And then let's take one last big squeeze in, big breath in. Hold it a moment or two and let it go and give it a good dusting off. Just releasing anything you don't need, other people's stuff. And then we're going to roll the shoulders a couple of times and then come to stillness and just notice how that feels. Now we haven't got a lot of time tonight, so when I do this for organisations, we're in a Zoom room so we can chat, and we do longer versions of everything. But I just want to do a very quick head massage with you. So we're just going to give our ears a little bit of a squeeze, going around the edges of the ears, kind of using this movement. Then we're going to go into the hair and give the head a bit of a rub. Lovely. It doesn't do your hairdo any good, but let's not worry about that right now. And then I'm going to take 2 fingers to the temples and little circles there. It's kind of a universal message, body language of, ooh, got a bit of a headache. And that's because it helps us to release that tension I talked about earlier with the just let go. And then bring it down into the jaw. Oh, lovely. And then one of my favourite things is just take your fingertips to the forehead and just pitter-patter like rain, and then bring them down to your chin and do that a few times. So you're just going all the way around your face, up and down. It's waking up the face. Okay, right. Hope that feels nice. That was a bit of a quick version, but you've got the basics there that you could just spend longer on that for yourself. Watch the video again, pause it, do more of what we're doing. And then, because now it's time for the feet to come out of the cookery. So my feet are nicely cooked. I hope that yours are. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to take your left foot out of the water. But before you do that, I'm going to tell you how to do that, which might seem really obvious. But you're going to take your left foot out of the water and you're going to dry that foot as if it were the foot of somebody you really, really adore. You're going to do it with such love and such caring, drying in between the toes, just loving that foot. Okay, so whenever you're ready, if you've got a towel or a flannel or whatever, take out the left foot and just begin to dry it with so much care and love and attention. And I don't know about you, but I don't think many of us spend this much attention. I know people who just basically get out of the bath or shower and stand on a bath mat. They don't even, you know, the feet don't even see the towel. They just kind of just get on with it and hope that they dry all on their own. So you're taking a little time. If you've got some body lotion, you want to apply that, then please do. And just pop that on. And you can leave your right foot in the water for now, because we're going to do 1 foot at a time. Just getting ready here to show you what we're going to do next, which is reflexology on your foot. So here we go. Excuse me showing you the sole of my foot. I know in some cultures that's a very, very rude thing to do. But what I'm showing you is this reflexology. And I've got my tutu on today, just in case you wondered what keeps flapping up. Okay, so this is the Reflexology Sock. You can get these off the internet, or if you wanted to, you could just look up Reflexology map on the internet, print one off, or just have it on a screen while you're doing this. But I'm going to talk you through it tonight, so you don't need to worry. And each part of the foot relates to a part of the body, and it kind of, if you imagine you were standing up, the head's here and the base of the spine is here. So it's kind of all the different parts of the body. And the principle of reflexology is that when you massage the particular parts of the foot that relate to particular parts of the body, you can bring more health into the body. There have been situations where people have actually diagnosed illnesses through reflexology. Of course, it needs to be followed up by a medical practitioner afterwards, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this kind of movement, and we're going to firstly take the tips of the toes. So this is a bit like this little piggy went to market, and this is the sinuses. So you're affecting the very top part of the body here with the sinuses. And then the big toe relates to the head and the neck. So you might want to put your foot on the opposite leg, and you might want to use your thumbs now. And then we're going to come into this part here, which is the eyes and the ears. Lovely. And then we're going to go around this area here, which is the heart and the lungs. So get your thumbs all around that bit there, over to the shoulder. Ooh, that's crunching a bit, crunchy shoulder. And then in the arch of the foot is the stomach and the kidneys, the adrenal glands. So basically, take your thumbs and work your way all the way down to the heel, which is where you'll find the bladder and the bowels, and then the sciatic nerve there at the bottom. Okay, right, then we're going to give the whole foot a squeeze. So just squeezing the foot, giving it all some love. And then, just thinking about what our feet do for us, we're going to give them some applause. Clapping the foot gently, firmly, which again stimulates all the nerve endings in the foot. Okay, right. So that's 1 foot. Hang on, I've lost my, where it is. So now we're going to do the other foot. So we're going to take the right foot out of the water with the same thing again. Just drying that foot so carefully with love and attention. And it's an ancient thing in lots of cultures where washing the feet of somebody else is a sign of adoration and honour. And we don't even do it for ourselves. So let's just start that little habit. There we go. So drying that foot very, very carefully. And then if you've got some lotion, you want to put some lotion on, then feel free to do that. I'm just going to get my other sock on. So you can get these off the internet, and you can also, should have said this at the start, apologies. You can also do the same thing with the hands. So these are Reflexology Gloves, and it's pretty much the same principle. So the fingertips are the sinuses, and then it goes down the body in a similar way to the foot. So if it's been a bit difficult reaching your feet and you think, well, I could probably do a better job if I was massaging my hands, then you could try that too. Okay, right, so we'll do the same thing again then with our right foot. We're going to wriggle the tips of the toes, which is the sinuses. And we're going to give some attention to the big toe, which is the head and the neck. Some little circles here along the bottom, which is the eyes and the ears. The ball of the foot is the heart and the lungs and the spine. And then moving across there to the shoulder. And then in the arch of the foot is all the digestion. So the stomach and the spleen, the gallbladder, all of those things that are affected by those stress hormones that we are trying to get rid of. Well, not rid of entirely, because survival is a good thing, but the extra stress hormones that we are getting too much of at the moment. And then all the way back down to the heel and the sciatic nerve there. Okay, and then just grabbing the foot, giving it a big squeeze, and then giving it a nice round of applause. Lovely. Now, how do your feet feel? If you're near your keyboard, please do share that with me. Just wet my whistle. And I hope you've enjoyed that. So, you could do this while you're on a Zoom call with work. You could do it while you're watching TV in an evening. You could take a few moments in the day just to say, hang on, I'm just going to sit with my feet in a bucket and breathe. You could just, when you next get out of the shower or the bath, spend a little bit of time just drying your feet, putting a little lotion on. You don't have to. The same with the massage. We're not aiming to make you a qualified reflexologist. We're saying, hey, you could spend a little time on your feet, just helping yourself to feel more relaxed and to ease a little tension out of the body. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. And now we are going to head to the Maldives. So get yourself comfy. If you've got a blanket or a cardigan, if you've got a cushion, anything that you need for comfort, we are going to do a lovely relaxation. If it's convenient for you to close your eyes and visualize, then obviously feel free to do that. I know that some of you will be reading the text, reading the subtitles, so I'm going to show you a video that you can watch, and then hopefully you'll see the words coming up there too in order to enhance the experience. Okay, right, is that everything I needed to do just now? I think so. All right, remember, if you've got any questions or comments, pop those in the box there. Annie, did you have something you were passing on to me? I heard the pen going. Oh, lovely feet, younger feet, how lovely. Oh, that's brilliant. And I was reading your things earlier about achy shoulders and juggling all the things that you're doing at the moment. So thank you for sharing those. It's really important for me to understand where you're at and what's going on for you. Okay, so let me now share my screen, and there we go. Oh, I'm gone. Slight technical hitch, folks. I need to unchoose that one, I think. No, I don't know why that's on. So it's as if I haven't stopped sharing the other one. What happens when I switch it on? Sorry folks, just a little technical hitch. Just the beach. Oh right, sorry, I thought there was a problem and there isn't. Okay, so have a look at this video. It's the Maldives. It's a beautiful white sandy beach, turquoise sea, blue sky. And as you watch, just breathe long and deep. Breathing in, breathing out. And letting go of anything that you don't need. If you'd like to, you can now close your eyes, or if you prefer, you can read along in this visualization in the Maldives, imagining the scent of tropical flowers along the beach. You're lying on a beautiful sun lounger. You can feel the warmth of the sun all the way through to your bones. There's a slight cool breeze around your head so that you are so comfortable. And the sea gently ebbs and flows. The rhythm of the sea is almost in time with your breath. It's as if you're controlling the ocean. Breathing in, breathing out long and deep. Softening your shoulders, your jaw, your head and neck. Releasing your tummy muscles, letting go of your arms and legs, just allowing your whole body to soften. And in this beautiful place where the sea rolls in and rolls out, you're breathing in that fresh sea air, feeling that warm sun on your face. And for a moment, you wonder if it would be nice to have a little walk. And as you stand, you can feel the warm sand sifting through your toes. And as you walk closer to the sea, the sand gets harder under your feet until the sea is rolling in and tickling your toes. Just beyond where you are, the sea is so clear that you can see some fish. They're rainbow fish, showing all the colours that there are. So beautiful, catching sunlight on their scales. And for a moment, you can imagine what it's like to be able to breathe in the water, to be able to breathe the oxygen in the sea, swimming so easily just with a flick of your tail, swimming through that beautiful turquoise water. Imagine how relaxing it is to be able to swim so easily and to be able to breathe so easily. And there are fish all around you. You're swimming together, a big tribe of fish, friends and family and people that you enjoy spending time with, all swimming through the water, flashing bright colours as the sun catches you. Swimming fast and swimming slow and swimming in unison, swimming left and then turning sharp right. It's almost like a roller coaster ride, swimming so easily through the water, breathing so easily. It's so much fun. And then, just as easily, you swim all the way back to the shore and find you once again have legs and feet and walk to your sun lounger and lie down and dry in the sunshine, feeling the salt and the sand on your feet, maybe tasting a little saltiness on your lips, as if you really have been in the water. Was it a dream? Was it real? And as the sun warms you all the way through, it reminds you that right at the core of who you are is a golden flame. It's the essence of you. It's always been there and always will be there. But sometimes we lose sight of it. We lose sight of our bright internal essence. Imagine now that you can see that bright golden flame at the core of who you are, shining brightly. And as you breathe, you make it shine even brighter. The sun is warming you with that golden rays, and inside you're breathing in that flame, filling yourself with golden rays. Gold on the inside, gold on the outside. Breathing in, breathing out, remembering your shine, knowing that you are amazing. You have been through so much. You have so many strengths, so many talents. And right now, you're refueling. You're getting what you need to be able to carry on being your amazing self. I'd like you to bring your hands to your heart space so that both hands are flat on your chest. And imagine that you're holding that sense of that beautiful beach and that memory of all that you've achieved and all that you are. You're holding it there in your heart space so that you can access it any time you need to, just by putting your hands on your chest and breathing a lovely long breath in and a long breath out. You can remind yourself of this beautiful, relaxing place and take a few moments to rest here whenever you need to. And then stretching a little bit, moving your fingers and your toes, turning your hands and your feet one way and then the other, just moving your body around. Stretch yourself out long. Take a big deep breath in and sigh the breath out with a big noise. And then whatever you need to do, roll your shoulders, ease your head and neck out, just bringing yourself back to this moment, opening your eyes and noticing how you feel. Breathing in, breathing out, enjoying that beach for a moment longer. And then here we are. We've just got a few more minutes to finish off. I hope that you've enjoyed it so far. And one thing that I do know is if you've followed along and you've done all the things I've been demonstrating, you have already brought more health and well-being into your body. You have reduced the stress, the adrenaline, the cortisol hormones in your body. You have made a difference just with this hour and a bit. You have made a difference to your own well-being. And one of the things that we know is that the body is constantly repairing and building new cells. In fact, in 1 year's time, you will have a whole new body. Each of the cells of your body will have been replaced. It's really weird to think that way. So watch what you're building. You know, what are you eating? Are you drinking enough? Are you building the body that's going to see you through, that's going to help you to be as strong as you possibly can be? I've just got a little thing I wanted to show you here, which is, you know, sometimes you forget to do this, which is, woohoo, it's the end of the race. Let's celebrate. Let's stop for a moment, because right now it's possible that there's always something else that you need to do. There's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So let's just take a break. Let's take a little bit of an audit, a little inventory. Hang on a minute. Where are we up to? What have we managed? What have we achieved? And what is it that we're doing? How are we doing all of that? What are the things that you're using, your talents, your skills and your attributes, you know, who you are? When you remember those things, you not only reduce the stress chemicals, but you raise the other things like the endorphins and the serotonin and the oxytocin, all the other feel-good chemicals. We haven't got enough time to go into those in great detail here, but trust me, the things that you've been doing tonight will have changed the chemicals of your body. And if you do these things repeatedly, then you're going to keep on top of that stress. And let's remember that it's rare that you get one big stress all at once and it keeps you stressed for a long period of time. Actually, it's little bits. You know, it might be about dropping the last egg. It might be about an email. It might be a phone call. It might be the weather. Little bits of stress kind of just keep attaching themselves to us. And when we do a little bit of a shake, when we do a twist, when we stretch, and when we switch the brain off into a more relaxed state, then we release all of that and we're able to rebuild what we need to be able to carry on, which is what we need in order to be well. So how are you now? I'd like, if you're able to pop it in the chat box, just let me know what's your stress levels out of 10 right now. 10 being steam coming out of your ears, 0 being poke me, I think I'm asleep, or anywhere in between. And a word or two about how you've experienced this, how it's made you feel. Just having a look here, Annie's passed me this. Oh, everybody's lovely, smiley, chilled. Amazed that you're so relaxed. I'll tell you something, I had somebody on one of these who, well, more than once, but the first one really hit me between the eyes. She said after that she'd done the spa, she slept through the night for the first time since last March, the beginning of lockdown, and she hadn't realised just how it felt. She'd forgotten how it felt to have a full night's sleep. It certainly helps me. I hope it helps you to sleep well. It should help you to fall asleep more easily, stay asleep, and sleep more deeply so that you wake refreshed. So I hope you experience all of that. Yes, Lou Smith, I hope you sleep better too. Diane, brilliant, so much more relaxed. Need to keep doing it. That's the thing, Diane. Every last Monday I'm here, but you can do it yourself. You know, there's bits of this you can just do yourself. And if you can't remember what to do, then the recordings stay up on YouTube. So subscribe to me, Pam Burrows People Booster on YouTube, and then you can access it all anyway, but I like it when you subscribe, and then you'll get a notification when there's new things coming on. Because there's over 100 videos that I've got. Now, the particular thing that I want to draw your attention to on my YouTube is I've got a playlist. So if you look along the top when you're in YouTube later, you'll see it says playlist. And one of those is called switch off techniques. And there's loads of, there's a series of quick, simple as you like, little physical things to do just before you go to sleep. You can do them any time of day, but really, really good for getting you to sleep. And all we're really doing is we're telling the brain body to, hang on, it's safe to switch off. And it's just a way of doing that, releasing all the tension. Feeling sleepy, Sophie, bless you. Thomas Phoenix, helpful, hope that love a good night's sleep. Absolutely. You're welcome, Kate Meredith. Interesting, taught me how important it is for releasing mental and physical. It's not separate. You might have noticed I say mind, body and body, mind. It's not mind and body. It's all the same thing. And did you know there are more messages that go from your stomach to your brain than the other way round? There are brain cells in your stomach. So when we are feeling the tension, when we've got a gut feeling and we're ignoring it, or we're stuffing food down on it because we're trying to pretend we don't feel that way, that's when we get those problems. So all good. So relaxed, ready for a nap. It was only 3 p.m. where you are, Liana. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, a lovely 3, Sarah. That's great news. So thank you for the things that you're writing on there. I'm just going to, oh, can I hang on to that? Yeah, brilliant. I've got Annie's phone with I never thought to do that before. That's a brilliant idea. My partner, Annie, who is a complete superstar on the tech front, she does everything behind screen. I do all the talking on screen. She does all the clever stuff behind the screen. So thank you, Annie, for being there on YouTube while I was busy in Zoom. And oh, Susan, so keep yawning. Yes, do you know what that is? That's the body saying, give me more oxygen. Fantastic. Neck feels better. Oh, I'm so glad. I did have somebody who'd had stomachache for weeks who did this, and it just disappeared within moments of doing some of the things that we've done here tonight. So don't underestimate a big problem or a big pain can have a very simple solution. You just have to take a little time to have faith in it and give yourself what you need. So if you have a team that needs some of this and your team has a bit of a budget, then please email me, pam@pamburrows.com. If you would like to be reminded every Monday morning at 6 a.m, I will come and remind you, not at your house because I'm not allowed to, but 6 a.m. every Monday morning, I send out what I call the Monday motivation message. So if you go to my website, pamburrows.com, at the bottom of every page, there's a sign up that you can use to sign up for the Monday message. So I write, it's about 500-600 words, just a short little thing with a video with a technique on and any information about free spas or other things that I've got going on. So if you'd like to sign up for that, it's completely for free and no adverts or any nonsense. What else was I going to tell you? Yeah, YouTube's the place to get all my free stuff. Find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you put Pam Burrows People Booster into Google, just find me everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, but I don't really do much on there. And every Wednesday morning, thank you, Annie, for reminding me, every Wednesday morning I do a podcast called Shed the Stress Burnout Buster. So look for Burnout Buster in your podcasts. And every Wednesday there's a little 20 to 30 minute podcast giving you some techniques and stuff. So if you're more of a listener than a reader, then that might be for you. Now Felicity has noticed her digestive system is gurgling during the beach exercise as she'd relaxed herself. Yes, so we've got everything moving. Fantastic. You might need to go to the loo, or you might need to eat, drink or sleep. So have a listen to yourself. Remember the care model. Listen and speak to yourself and act upon the things that you hear with compassion Acknowledge what's going well and what you're achieving and who you are. Remember reality when you're planning what you're going to do. Don't try and live up to your own intentions. You need to live up to reality. And then E for energy. So eat, drink, sleep, and find joy. You have given me joy tonight. I've had an excuse to wear my tutu and have a lovely time with you. It's not quite the same as being in a Zoom room and being able to chat on with you. But if you'd like to do that, every Wednesday night you can join the Feel Good Club, where we have Wednesday, Wellbeing Wednesday, and it's £20 a month to be a part of that. So it's less than a £5 a week to get something like this, but it's in a Zoom room and we get to have full discussions and do loads of really great boosting each other and feel good techniques. So I think that's it, and we're almost at the end. The next spa, it's every last Monday of the month, 6:30 until 8. And the next one will be March the 29th. So keep your eyes peeled for the link for the next one. If you want to sign up to the Monday message, that's the quickest, or probably, what was the word? The most secure way to make sure that you get to know what's going on. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'm usually shouting about it on there as well. And just to finish off, if we were in a room together right now, which I hope we will be one day, I would be offering you one of these 2 stickers. And I would say, do you want a silver one or do you want a gold one? They're virtual. Do you know what? You can have both. And the idea is you would stick it somewhere to remind you that you are a star, someone truly amazing. And when you get a bit shy, I'll say, yes, really. And that's what the R is for. Someone truly amazing, really. I hope you draw a star or have one as your screensaver, or find a picture of a star, just to remind yourself to look after your very precious self. And if you'd like to know a bit more about stress, you can find me on Amazon, which is, this is my Burnout Buster book, 33 red flags that show you might be heading for burnout, 33 things to do about it. So if you or somebody you know is at risk of burnout or already burnt out, then that's a nice little read. It's only $3.99 for the paperback, $2.99 for the e-version, because I just want it to be out there and hopefully helping people. Okay, let's finish off with a big hug, because even pretend hugs set off oxytocin in the body. Oxytocin makes you feel good, and oxytocin helps your heart to be healthier. So I'm giving you a squeeze. I hope you're giving yourself a squeeze just to finish off. Nice long breaths. That's all for now, but hopefully I might be coming to a team near you sometime soon, or at the very least I'll see you next month for the next spa. And in the meantime, thanks to both. That's you too, Annie, you got a thanks too. Wendy's here. Oh, lovely, thank you. And Lou's saying thank you. Excellent. Yes, podcast is called Burnout Buster, Shed the Stress, but look out for Burnout Buster. We could just put my name, actually, Pam Burrows People Booster, into it, and then you'll find it. Right, I'm always reluctant to switch off because I just love telling you about this stuff and hearing how it might be helping you. But I hope that you'll join me again, and I'll weave in another little new thing next time. We had spoons this time, including one wet spoon. Look after your spoons. Start noticing when you're giving them all away. Save some for yourself so that you can be well. Self-care is not selfish, it's survival. Thank you for all you're doing out there. I don't know what's making you frazzled and tired right now, and I don't know what challenges you've got ahead, but I thank you for showing up in the world and just being who you are. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.